the public doesn't know what goes on in a machine shop, and they don't, and maybe they don't know what a machine shop is, right?
You know, it's the same thing in the food industry, the refrigeration industry. A machinist has to touch everything. That pole right there was made out of a mold that a machinist made. If it wasn't for a machinist, you wouldn't have eyeglasses. You wouldn't have that camera. That was all made by a machinist. Everything.
Well, all about these parts are bring them into finished dimensions without I'm making my own program, so I have to be real careful as far as the right move at the right time, or else.
I started in a small tool machine shop right out of high school through cooperative work experience, which was a program that they offered. I got a job in a small machine shop, not knowing anything, just went in and was making like $2.75 an hour, and I ended up sticking with it.
No, it's just trying to finish it up now, and there's a lot involved, so.
Yeah.
Currently, it's just, there's so much involved that there are, whatever, 7 layers of print, so you'll see a dimension on one page for one feature, but you'll have to go back 3 pages for the other dimension on that same feature.
Where did you learn machining?
I've been doing it ever since I was 18.
18? Yeah. How old are you now?
Almost 44.
Yeah? Ray right now is doing a bolt hole pattern on this flange that he made. How many years experience have you been in machining?
31.
31 years? Really? And how did you originally get started in this industry?
My brother was in Ingersoll Moran and talked me into getting involved.
Really? Did you take anything in high school for machining?
No, I took the course after.
I see.
At our company, we have 2,700 years of manufacturing experience. We have 75 people working there. And if you do the math, that means I've got a bunch of guys with over 25 years experience.
What I see their expertise that a lot of people don't have is large stainless steel fabrications. They're even be able to take that right from raw material, welding, excellent welding, and then being able to machine it so they can offer that whole task.
And around the corner, we have one of our master machinists, Steve Wilson. Steve's been with us for 21 years. I've worked with Steve at another company 26 years ago. It takes 30 years to make a Steve, really, with all his knowledge and his attitude, his work ethic. It's very good.
It is a good trade. You can earn a decent living in this trade. So I mean, it is an advantage. But you have to know a lot of stuff.
And you're a welder fabricator. How did you get into this business?
Started with my father.
Your father?
My father was a welder for many, many years and a real good welder.
Yeah.
I took up after him.
Did he show you as a kid how to do it? Yeah.
I started welding when I was around 7 years old.
7?
In my garage, yeah. With my
Yeah.
dad, yeah.
I learned by practicing on my own, on my lunch hour and after work, with the help of a few older welders in the business at the time. I learned how to stick weld, and I picked up the other processes as I went along. Steel the arc, stick weld, convert bar.
How long did it take you before you felt pretty confident that you're doing an excellent job?
Probably 8 to 10 years.
I would say, honestly, I would say you probably need 10 solid years. And maybe not even in one place, maybe a couple different environments, because there's a lot of different things and a lot of different parts being made. So, but I would say 10 years before you can consider yourself a machinist, you know.
We do have a problem in our shop. The average age of our employees is over 50. So we need to backfill with younger people. He's just got that natural ability, and he's working with this master here. Dave's got 25 years experience running a lathe. This is a lathe. And so he's doing some training and getting them going. So
I learned so much here. You know, this is where my experiences come from solely. Depending on what needs to get done, you'll be working with this person. They'll be showing you these things, and you know, it's pretty much like that, just on the job training.
He's doing well. He's doing very well. I actually taught him to program before I taught him how to run the machine. That way he would know what the machine was doing by looking at the programming. And he's doing very well at picking that up.
each year we get one of these high school students to come to work as an apprentice with us, and that's how we've been able to fill our shop up with new people.
So far, I like it here a lot, and I'm learning so much. And it was tough at first because I honestly had no idea what any of these machines did.
At first, it was just a lot of them getting to know that I come to work on time and whatnot. But now that I'm starting 40 hours a week, they're just having me work with somebody at a CNC machine, milling or lathe work.
Keene State had a introduction to machine shop class for their plastic engineering students. So I took that and did pretty well, and my father said, well, there are schools in the state that teach the CNC machining. So I went to interview at Manchester and Nashua, and I ended up going to the Nashua Tech College and getting a degree there. I started working in a machine shop while I was at school, and that's how I got started.
I think I'm supposed to help people. If you're successful or trying to be successful, you're supposed to help other people so they can be successful, you know?
If you don't have new people coming up, then eventually this trade is going to die out, not just here, but everywhere.
I get a lot of help. When I was actually on the manual machines, just starting off, I only had a couple classes at the time, just starting, and the guys all around me on the Viper and the other manual machinists, they all helped me a lot, telling me their techniques, how to actually get a part right and the proper ways to measure it, and they lend me their tools, and it's a big help what they did.
The training here in this company is pretty good. For the most part, I know machine controls.
Yeah.
Generally, most of them. Even getting introduced to this guy right here.
Yeah, that was
I wasn't too afraid of it because I'm familiar with the Kumas. Okay. And the Kuma controls are actually very similar to this. Okay. Just everything's in a different place, but the G codes and M codes are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So, and when I had questions about how Hollis Line Machine does stuff, I'd go see Jamie or Tim. Yeah. And they generally, send me in the right direction as to how we do things here. And it works out pretty good.
John's really good about investing back in the company. He's not in this to make money. He's in this to make a company, and it comes back. And I had a hard time getting used to it actually when I first started working here, because any tooling I need, he gets mad if I don't buy it right away.
The more difficult they are, the more fun they are.
Even those headaches are fun?
Even the headaches are fun, because they keep your mind working,
I got a job from a customer. They wanted something water jetted, and I got it was on a sketch on a napkin, and I came running out to Dan. It was 3:45 on a Friday, and I says, "Hey, can you make this up for me right away?" So I goes back to my office, and 10 minutes later, he's back in my office with the plate of aluminum. And I remember saying to him, "What took you so long?" It's so quick how he was able to write a program, put the pot on the table, and have the nozzle come and cut the piece of metal out. It was very effective. This is a gray iron casting. This is for a company in Illinois. It's It is for the gear cutting industry, and this casting and the gear it will be cutting will be for the windmill industry. The windmills use a lot of gears, and the gears have to be very precisely made. This is part of a gear cutting machine, and it's a steel construction. Here's the engineered drawing of it. It was a piece of tubing, a steel plate that we cut, some gussets to weld it. We had to machine it, and then we had to mill cutouts in order to hold the part. This is called a cover. It's part of a fuel system for a jet turbine. This jet turbine is used for power generation. I like to do things right. I'd like to do them better than what people are expecting. And I try to get my guys to do better than what the customer is expecting. There has been many times I've been at a customer's when they take the lid off a box of something that we shipped them, and they look over and they go, wow. And you know, you can't sell that. That just sells itself. So that's a very good experience.
I mean, when this thing is done, and I look at the finished welds, I have a sense of personal pride in the fact that it's a good appearing weld, and that I know that it's going to be strong enough to perform the task that it's performing.
Our country was great because we did hard things. What did Kennedy say? I was just a young kid when he said, we do things because they're hard.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills.
And I really believe that if you do things that are hard, yes, it's hard work, but when you finally finish, there's a feeling of success that you feel good about.
So if you don't take personal pride in your work, nobody else is going to really care too much about it either. You really have to have a sense of personal accomplishment to do a good job.
I generally watched the 6:30 news, and all I could see were these news people talking about how bad the economy was and how this company is laying people off and how this person is sad that they've lost their job. And you know something? We're Americans. We're Americans. And we're generally not sad. And we've always been self-reliant. And I really think that, you know, oh, you can get down, but you got to get back up. And you got to get back up. And I thought having that saying there would cheer people up. I do think that we were put on Earth to work, and I like working.